welcome to VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards, a daily podcast bringing you an inside look at the Vegas Golden Knights' 2023 Stanley Cup playoff run. I'm Justin Russo with the Golden Knights on Sunday, May 21st, and today the Golden Knights are back on the ice at T-Mobile Arena for Game 2 of the Western Conference Final against the Dallas Stars, with puck drop set for noon Pacific time. Vegas, of course, took Game 1 after Brett Howden scored just over 90 seconds into overtime, and the VGK will be prepared for a strong Dallas push in Game 2 before the series shifts to the Lone Star State. With Game 2 just a handful of hours away, I want to give you some reminders if you do plan on coming down to the arena today. First, still be aware that Frank Sinatra Drive is down to one lane in both directions, and it will cause some delays around the arena, so get to the Fortress early if you can, and be sure to use traffic apps like Waze to make sure you get to Game 2 on time. If you do come early, well, you can enjoy some of the festivities on Toshiba Plaza, because before Game 2, the Vegas Super Bowl will be on Toshiba Plaza in celebration of Super Bowl 58 that'll be right here in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium next year. You can come on down and take a photo with the large football attraction that is going to make numerous appearances across Southern Nevada throughout the year. Also, be sure to come down for complimentary hairstyling, beard dyes, and trims from 101 Barbershop, as well as Revolt Tattoos will be there just like they were in Game 1 and really have been throughout the entire postseason, offering some free, temporary, and permanent tattoos of the team's logo. And last but not least, be sure to wear your gold to the Fortress today, as we want to continue the sea of gold that we've had for home games this postseason and make T-Mobile Arena even more intimidating for opposing teams. Let's now get to Game 2 itself, as Ashali Vise joins the show today, not only to set up the on-ice action, but to give us some insight on the amazing pregame presentation that we see at every home game. Happy Sunday morning to you, Ashali. Take it away.
And a good Game 2 morning to you, Justin. It's a perfect Sunday for hockey here in Vegas. A noon puck drop, a beautiful day, a buzz around the city thanks to the result of Game 1. We will chat with the OT hero, Brett Howden, in a bit. But first, can we talk about what we saw before the puck dropped to start this conference final? Drum bots were literally descending from the ceilings of T-Mobile Arena. The pregame show just never ceases to amaze us. And it doesn't just catch the attention of Golden Knights fans, it also caught the attention of key figures around the National Hockey League. And during Game 1, I caught up with Steve Mayer, who is the Chief Content Officer of the National Hockey League. And let me tell you, this man quite literally does it all in terms of overseeing any of the major events the league puts on, from cup finals to drafts, all-star games, outdoor games. He works with the broadcast partners. Just about everything you're able to see, hear, or watch from the National Hockey League is touched by Steve Mayer and his team. And immediately after the quadruple overtime game in the Eastern Conference Thursday night, they made it to Vegas in time for Game 1, where we were able to chat about that crazy game in Carolina and talk about how his team prepares for a cup final in each of the potential 4 cities. Steve, first of all, how's Vegas treating you so far at your short time here?
We love Vegas. We've spent obviously a lot of time here over the years. It's just a great place to go. And to come here and to feel the energy, once again, it's really cool to see how this team is playing and how close they are to a Stanley Cup final.
Speaking of energy, you were just present for the 6th longest game in National Hockey League history between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Florida Panthers. What was it like to be there? Because I know even us on the Pacific Coast were, talking about how late that game was going. What was it like to be in attendance?
Yeah, so we're right now, our events team is on a tour of all of the 4 cities that are left. And yesterday we were fortunate enough, and I say that because as a hockey fan, we went to one of the greatest games ever. We were there last night, and we stayed right till the very end. We all had really early flights to come to Las Vegas, but it was awesome. I mean, the energy in the building was fantastic. And we almost were done in the first overtime, but the game kept on going, and the fan base, they just were all into it, standing through the second game, which we thought was really interesting. I mean, once the crowd rose to their feet, they stayed on their feet. It was a long night, but a great night, and a great night for the NHL.
And you said that wrapped up a little after 2 a.m. And then what time did your flight leave this morning for Vegas? And technically the same day?
We left the hotel at 5:30. We, I will say that one of the funnier sights was making the mad dash to get out of what usually is a very crowded parking lot in Carolina. But those are the memories, and this is why we love our job, and we love what we do. You have nights like that where, hey, listen, if it was a 3-1 game and it ended in regulation, okay, it was a great hockey game. But, that night we'll remember forever. And we'll remember it also because of the circumstances afterwards that we had to get on a plane the next day, or 2 planes, actually, from Raleigh to get out here. But those are the things that when you do what we do, those are the ones you remember. And it's been a very cool 24 hours.
So running on 3 hours of sleep, going city to city across multiple time zones, how would you describe what the playoffs are like throughout the duration of the postseason for you and your team?
Well, listen, for us, it's a labor of love. What's so unique about what our events team does, we have to prepare for every scenario. So right now, we're preparing for Vegas, Dallas, Carolina, Florida. We don't know where we're going, but we have to have every I dotted, every T crossed. We've got to know exactly what we want to do in every single place. We have to understand that, Vegas could be the home team and have home ice if they're playing Florida, but if they're playing Carolina, that's the second city. So all these scenarios come into play, and think about it. We have to book hotel rooms. Not sure when we're going to be in those hotel rooms. You have to book music acts and all the activations that we do. And, we come in and we change the building a bit, but some of the buildings have concerts in them or other events in them, and we have to work around them. There's just a lot of planning. And we know that 2 of the buildings or 2 of the cities that we're planning for, we're just doing it for the sake of doing it. Because it's, going to go on a shelf. And, we're really only doing something that, we're going to end up doing in 2 cities. I think that's the fun part as well. Like, we love what we do. There are a lot of details to what we do. But you're doing it 4 times, knowing that you're only going to need to do it 2 times.
Well, I know the Golden Knights fans certainly hope that whatever you're planning here sticks, and they would love to have you back here for a Stanley Cup final again. But speaking of, Vegas being the home team and the events happening here, I know you were excited to get to your suite to be able to see the opening show. What did you think? There were some prizes even for us staff.
Yeah, no, it keeps on evolving. That's what I love about the game presentation team here. They don't rest on their laurels. They're always trying to make it better. They're always making it unique, and the playoffs are special, and they really take to do whatever they can do to show not only those that are in the arena, but remember, our broadcast partners are leaning in. This is something that's not only seen here, but seen everywhere. It's really impressive. The high bar was established here in Vegas, but for the entire league. One of the things that we do, we work with all the game presentation teams around the league, and everybody wants to do what Vegas is doing. Everybody has upped their game, and the bar is established here. And when you can raise that bar even higher than it's been with something like we saw today, that's impressive. And I know that the team here of game presentation folks, they have some big things in store. They're not going to stop. And if the Vegas Golden Knights get to the final, I'm sure we're going to see a show of shows.
They sure hope so. Looking ahead a little bit, when will you start planning for the Winter Classic? When does that page turn between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Seattle Kraken January 1st?
So we've already started. We're in pretty deep. Like, we've been to Seattle numerous times. I have to admit, we were watching intently with the possible matchup of the Kraken against the Golden Knights in the conference final. That would have been interesting. We think it's going to be a great place to host an outdoor game. Seattle is really excited about it. The baseball stadium is awesome. And if Vegas Golden Knight fans have not been to Seattle, it's a great place, great vantage point to watch what we think will be a really unique and good outdoor game. We're right now in the process of, just determining what the field is going to look like and what the theme is going to be. But we think that music, given Seattle and, the history of grunge and some of the music artists that have absolutely put Seattle on the music map, those are some of the people we're talking to perform. There's a lot of celebrity that'll be a part of this. And we think that the Golden Knight fan is going to travel. So we think there'll be a significant contingent from Vegas there. It's going to be good.
Yeah, there will certainly be a lot of gold. I can tell you that for sure. Of all the events your team puts on each season, from All-Star to the Outdoor Games, Cup Finals, do you have a personal favorite?
It's hard. They all are unique, and what we love about it is the cities that we go to. We, as an event team, get to spend time in those cities and really take it in. We're there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks as we either prepare or we operate the game. The outdoor games all have a different feel than an all-star game has. And we're about to do our award show and draft, which we used to do here in Vegas. We loved it here in Vegas, but we decided...
We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, well, all right, we'll consider that. But we're also looking forward to Nashville and doing something a little different. I like the draft lottery. We just did the draft lottery. Pretty cool to be in that room when teams' futures are determined. Those are fun to do. Listen, the variety of what we do at the league and what we try to bring to our fans, it's fun. I have to admit, we have a good time doing it. We try to be creative. We try to lean into where we are. If we're in Vegas, we want to show the world what Las Vegas is all about, and we want to really lean in, like we'll do in Seattle, like next year we'll do in Toronto for All-Star. And wherever we go, that's part of the creative, challenge, I would say, but we don't look at it as a challenge, but we always try to, show off the area.
We certainly have a fun time watching you show off, Steve, and we hope to see you back for the Cup Final. Thanks for taking the time.
Looking forward to it. 4 wins away, we'll be back.
That's it.
And, if we're here, this is not a place that we're going to be upset being in.
Thanks, Steve. Now, of course, those 4 wins that he said are needed for the Golden Knights to appear in the Cup Final are down to 3, thanks to the overtime goal from Brett Howden. We caught up with him yesterday. Mr. Overtime himself, Brett Howden. Brett, first of all, I want to make sure you're feeling okay after getting absolutely mobbed by your teammates yesterday.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Pretty fun moment. Super fun to be a part of. You always see that growing up, watching the playoffs, so it was pretty fun to be a part of that.
Everyone, I'm sure, equally is happy to get the win, but who was the most hyped up for you?
I don't know. I just felt like I was getting mauled down in the corner there. Everybody was pretty pumped. We were just super happy to get that win. We felt like we deserved it before overtime anyways, so just relieved that we got it.
What was your phone like after that? How many text messages?
Quite a few. A lot of family and friends reaching out. Pretty special to have that kind of support.
So coming into this year, you only had a handful of games worth of playoff experience, your first real deep run here. How would you describe what the experience has been like, and how does it compare to what you expected playoff hockey to be like?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been a lot of fun. Obviously the way it's been going, it's been great. It's the funnest hockey I've ever played. So to be able to be on a team like this with this caliber and for us trying to do something special here, it's been amazing, and still got some work to do.
And you've become a really big part of it. And Bruce Cassidy was talking prior to Game 1 about how your game stays the same, whether you're scoring or whether you're not. What has been the key for you to finding that consistency?
Yeah, I think that's something that I've learned over my career. I think the last 2 years I've gotten better at that, is staying more consistent every night. It's something I had to learn and try to adapt into my game, and I think I've done a better job of that the last couple of years here with Vegas. So that's something I strive on, and trying to be consistent every night.
Afternoon game 2, a noon puck drop. What does the morning look like for you from the time you wake up to when that puck finally drops?
Yeah, it's a bit of a different time. Just wake up, hang out with Charlie and my wife, and just once I leave the house, then it's all business and game time. But it's kind of nice to be able to relax at home for a little bit in the morning.
What are the mornings with Charlie like?
It's fun. It's a lot of smiles. He's starting to smile a lot, so it's fun to see him wake up and kind of have some reaction. So it's been great.
He was able to watch a really good game 1. Dallas does feel like they did not have their best game in that one, though. What are you expecting in game 2?
Yeah, we're going to expect a big push from them. We know that, so we're going to be ready for it. And we're, like I've said all along, we can't be so worried about them, more so worried about our game and setting our game to our standard.
Thanks for the time, Brett. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley.
So long story short, Justin, expect a good one here in game 2 in just a few hours. And with that, I will send it back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Ashley. Great to hear from Brett Howden after his big game 1. And a great conversation with Steve Mayer, who, as you said, really does it all for the NHL. And I think listening to someone like Steve just shows you how much preparation and research goes into everything that the league does. And the dedication by visiting all 4 teams in the conference finals to be prepared for any possible outcome just shows you how they're always trying to be a step ahead of the action. Well, it should be another fun show before the game and on the ice for Game 2 today. And if you want to get some last-minute tickets to Game 2, head over to VegasGoldenKnights.com. Again, lots of fun outside the arena on Toshiba Plaza pregame, and of course, a great game on the ice expected this afternoon. So go to VegasGoldenKnights.com for tickets to Game 2 of the Western Conference Final between the Golden Knights and the Stars. That'll just about do it for us here today, but before we go, I'll remind you quickly to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss a moment of the team's quest for the Stanley Cup right here on VGK Today. Tomorrow, Dan Duba and Gary Lawless join the show to recap Game 2. Justin Russo signing off for episode 35 of VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards.